In the chaos of wrestling, alliances shift and titles change amidst hidden tensions.
Back here, and pretty uneventful tour. Everything went well, and we come back. Sean and I had already been told that we had to be in Regina, Manitoba, the week of, like that Tuesday before the In Your House, because it would be me, him, and Vince. Vince wanted to go over and create a finish for this, and that's what he told us, that there was going to be a repeat of the Rude Ultimate Warrior angle. And while we're in Germany, we get the report that Sean's been attacked by, beaten up by, like, I forget.
40.
Yeah, it was like
40 U.S. Army soldiers.
Yeah, something like ridiculous.
3 angry Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
That's what it ended up being, but go ahead.
Through that lens, right? And so when I got back, Davey Boy called me. And I was home for maybe a day or two. And Davey Boy called. I can't remember if he called before J.J. Dillon. At any rate, Davey Boy calls and he said, I just want to let you know, Sean's been talking shit on you while you were in Germany. I said, what's he been saying? He said, he's been telling everybody he's going to embarrass you on the pay-per-view. And I laughed. I said, I'd love to see him try. I'll stretch his ass on the pay-per-view. And
at this point, did you have any problems with Sean at all?
No.
So this is out of the blue.
Other than the money being the shits and, a couple little things you can see, but it was nothing at that point yet targeted directly at me that I saw or heard.
Right.
And so I tell Davey that, and the very next day, I think it was the next day, the JJ called and said, you're not needed in Regina on Tuesday now. Did Davey get me knocked out of that spot? Did he stooge it? And they said, no, it's nothing like that. He said, Sean's not going to be able to wrestle because he's had a relapse of his concussion. Well, again, I was accepted to medical school. I know you don't relapse a concussion unless you get hit in the head again. I said, well, how the hell did he get hit in the head again? So, well, he didn't get hit in the head again. He just had a relapse. And I went, okay, now this is all
The old
starting to line up.
relapse.
And
The old concussion relapse.
He forgot to mention that his physicians were Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, but that's a whole other story.
So the night before the In Your
my
House,
God.
I flew in last with Jim Cornette. We were on the very last flight into Regina. I get to the hotel. I'm rooming with Dustin, and I get into the room. There's a note on my bed. Everybody's down in the bar. So I put my stuff away, went down to the bar. And as I walk in, the bar is packed with fans. I see over the top of the crowd somebody going like this. So I look, and it's Scott Hall waving me over.
Right.
I'm just like, that's like, okay. Because one thing about Scott was when he was drinking, like, boy,
Hey,
loose
Shane.
lips would sing Ever and shit, right? So I went over and he's holding the seat for me, and he says, hey, Shane, Sean can't wrestle tomorrow. And he's going, through the whole thing. And he said, I just want to say congratulations. I said, for what? He said, well, you didn't hear it from me, but you're getting the belt tomorrow. And where I come from in the business, the way I was taught, why this guy knows anything outside of me, Vince, and Sean don't work. It doesn't work in my world. But I knew that he's, there's something going on here now. So now I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open.
Are they the Click right now? Are they known as the Click already?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if the name had stuck
But
at that time.
it's forming.
Yeah, it's forming, and they were, at least there were certain people in the dressing room. Not everybody was talking, calling them the Click.
They're not hugging at the Garden yet, ruining everything. Go on. Oh.
So the next day I pull into the parking lot to go in, and Sean pulls in right next to me. Now, remember, we'd heard just not like a week or so ago, he's been brutally attacked by this platoon of soldiers. And he gets out of the car and he looks, there's not a scratch on him. He looks perfectly normal.
His toenails are flossed.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got
gets a
sparkly
little
teeth.
sparkle off his tooth when he smiles. So we walk in and
He's in a bathrobe.
the dressing room,
tan?
the locker room was this way, and the makeup room was this way. So we walk in, and I said something to him, walking in. I said, tough night in Rochester. Oh yeah. And he walks into the makeup room.
That was great.
He walks into the makeup room, and I go into the dressing room, and I drop my stuff, and I'm going to get something to eat. And we almost like on cue. He's coming out of the makeup room. Now he's got a contact lens in and bruised up.
Oh, get
Are you
that.
serious?
Yeah. And I said, boy, those makeup girls must be tough, huh? Yeah. Snaps his gun again,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm down
greatest
in
imitation
catering,
ever.
and I get somebody, I forget who it was, Blackjack or somebody came and said, Vince wants to talk to you. So I go and find Vince, and what was odd was when I walked in, I had never seen this before, but I walk in and the dressing room is all dark. He's got the whatever the Regina.
Is there like one light bulb swinging in
Yeah,
the middle?
there was one say like have you ever been in your gymnasium after the school's closed?
Yeah.
There's like one light in the locker room that's on.
You've been summoned.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
walk in and his desk is right in the middle of the thing under this, and he sits down and tells me to sit down. We sit down and start talking. He starts explaining to me why Sean can't wrestle and but he really loves this and he really loves that. And he's going on and on. He goes, so at that point, Sean's going to come out and he's going to forfeit the title to you. And I went, oh, please don't do that. He goes, why not?
Make sure
like, real seriously, why not? He
Weak.
said, I've heard every wrestling champion since I was a kid say, you'd have to pry this belt from my cold, dead fingers. I'll spill your blood. I'll rip your head off to take this belt off me. Unless I get a little bump on the head, then I'll just hand it to you.
Right.
I said, I'm sure he can do a super kick. Have him super kick me and beat me, but don't do that. He goes, no, we're committed to that. And this talk is going on for like 45 minutes. He and I sitting across the desk,
Going back and forth.
talking back and forth. And he says, yeah, and he's going to, you come out there, you do one of those promos you're so famous for, and he'll come out and you take that belt off of him. And he said, and at that point, I'm looking at him, I'm like, what's going on with his hand? So
What's he pointing towards?
So I start to slowly follow his hand, and I look over, and Scott Hall's sitting over here in a goddamn locker,
Hey, yo.
listening to the whole conversation.
What the hell?
So let's jump. They give you the Intercontinental strap. With growing up, the Intercontinental strap meant everything.
Well, that was
to this company,
back
right?
in that era. That was like the workers' belt.
Yeah, that was
Like
the number 2,
that
right?
was
And that
big-
was the real guy.
Well, that's the guy who can work with anybody. And then the big belt was like if you're an attraction.
Yeah. So we had Tito Santana, Greg Valentine, great Intercontinental champions.
Right.
However, we did have Shane Douglas, who was an Intercontinental champion. And
Right.
He kind of tells a story
Dean
on our show
Douglas.
that you really dicked him over
Well,
in Canada.
They came to me. I worked in a tag match against the Smoking Guns with Kid and rocked it. And then because Sean got beat up in some club, he couldn't work with Shane.
Did he really get beat up?
Yeah, beat bad.
Really?
And nobody helped him. Like, I think David
Were you
Boy
there?
and some guys were there. No, I was in a different town.
Okay.
I think I was in Europe with Kev.
Okay.
And
Who was he with? That they were just standing
I don't
around
know.
going kick him again?
They
think
got
they-
stuck in the car.
they got
or
stuck
whatever.
in the car.
Couldn't- yeah, whatever.
Okay.
something
All right.
happened.
All right.
So bring us back to Canada. They're going to give Shane the title.
Well, they give it to Shane, and then I think Gorilla orders him to defend it against me, and they put it on me.
But hold it.
But he thinks I'm back there politicking for it, bro. I've already had it a couple times. Sometimes you reach a point where you don't need the belt. You become more over than the belt. Give the belt to somebody to
But
establish him.
he kind of tells a story that you're sitting at a bar with him, I guess, and you say, hey, man, they're going to give you the strap. And he's all excited, but he's kind of doesn't understand why they told you he's getting it. He gets called into this dark room. Vince has like one light hanging over his head and starts talking about giving the belt. And then he goes, after you win the belt, you're going to lose it 10 minutes later. And then the light comes on and you're sitting in the corner.
Doesn't this sound like a great promo?
Staring
Come
at
on,
him.
at least sounds like a good promo.
Yeah, it's a good story. I don't have any memory of that. But I mean,
Sounds like a good promo, though.
Hey,
yo,
here's my
fling.
side of the story. Is Shane Douglas came in with a reputation as being great. Like, I was going to get him over, and he was going to rewrite wrestling history working with Shawn Michaels. Except he's little, but he's slow, and he's heavy, and he's not that athletic, and he's not that good a talker. That Dean gimmick wasn't his fault. That was put on him, but that was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, he was given the opportunity. He didn't deliver the goods, and he's bitter about it. But, I mean, I don't care. I never got along with him. I mean, it ain't show friends, it's show business, We're never going to have dinner together. We're never going to travel together. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. Right.